Hi guys, welcome to Crissi's Tiny Kitchen, and it's time for Super Sunday. Today I thought I would show you something a little different. It's a unique creamy vegetable soup that is it's just different. It's different. So it's a simple soup using zucchini, carrot, onion, garlic. Those are our main vegetables. We're going to use some chicken broth. I actually don't have any on hand. I thought I had some, but I only have beef broth. So I'm just going to use some water and some chicken cubes today. Some skim milk. We are going to use a little bit of flour and oil. We're going to make a little quick cheater roux to thicken it up. If you have cream, cream is great. I just don't have any, so I'm going to use my skim milk. Salt and pepper, season it up. Sometimes I like to add a little pinch of nutmeg. So with this soup, I'm winging it a little bit as I go along in the video, but as always, I will have the proper recipe written out for you guys. I was actually reminded of this soup when my sister has a little garden, and she gave me some zucchini, and I thought, hey, I haven't made this soup in a long time, so we're gonna do that today. So, as usual, we're gonna start off with a little bit of oil in our pan, our pot here. A couple tablespoons, I'll say. And then what we're gonna do is, because we're grating all the veg, I want everything to be a similar texture. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and use my box grater, and I'm gonna grate the onion. So that's gonna be the base of our soup. Also makes it a little easier to hide it. If you've got picky people that don't think they like onion or garlic, it kind of just melts away, but you're still getting a good flavor. Onions aren't the easiest thing to grate on a box grater, but I get as low as I can without getting my knuckles in there, as we have, I think everybody has done at some point in their life. A little lower. I might even just take that little bit and just really finely dice it up. So this is just one sweet white onion. God. You'll notice that anytime I'm using onions, you will not see me shed a tear. And I'll let you in on a little secret. I actually have insanely sensitive eyes. Like, even slicing into a green onion, my eyes are watering. But I'm blind as a bat. And if I'm wearing my contact lenses, which I generally do 90% of the time, onions don't affect you when you're wearing contact lenses. So if you switch between glasses and contact lenses and you've never noticed that difference, try it. I can sit and cut like 100 onions and I will not shed a tear. I love it. Okay, so we've got our onion grated. I always go in behind the grater, because there's always goodies stuck in there. Quite a bit of juice comes out, obviously, from the onion, because it does actually have quite a bit of water in it. That's okay, that's all flavor. It's all gonna go in there. And keep that grater to the side for now, because we are gonna use it again. So I'm just gonna sift through, make sure any of the bigger chunks that I wasn't able to get any closer with, make sure those aren't going in yet, because I am gonna just take my knife and kind of chop through them. Okay, otherwise, these guys can go in. Yeah, lots of juices. We'll collect all of the juices from all the veg. And I'm just going to turn my pot on to like medium. So these guys I'm just going to really finely slice up here. Just so that they blend in, and I don't want to waste any. Now, when it comes to the garlic, you can finely mince it, or I have my microplane here. I'm actually going to use that today. So I'm just going to take my microplane and I'm going to grate some garlic into there as well. This is what I do when I make my homemade Caesar salad as well. Rather than chopping it, that way nobody's going to get a big chunk of raw garlic. I like to grate it in. again, watch those fingers. If you're getting too low, just discard that little leftover bit. So that was 1 large onion. We've got 3 cloves of garlic. Once again, you can adjust it to suit your tastes. So let's be real, everybody who loves garlic loves garlic. Okay, so again, those little nubs that were just a little too small, I didn't want to get my fingers. I'm just going to take my knife and really finely mince it up. And even though this is a cream soup, I find it's still nice and light. You can enjoy it in summer. Summer, you know, you don't always want a hot homemade soup in the summertime, but this one is nice. It's really bright and fresh. All right, just wash my hands there. Okay, so we've got this going over a medium heat, and we're gonna put some salt and pepper, and we're gonna let this go till we don't want it to brown. We just want it to kind of become translucent, soften up. And in the meantime, I'm gonna grate up 2 big carrots, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna grate up the whole zucchini, but I'm gonna kind of eyeball it because I want pretty much equal amounts carrot and zucchini. Okay. So give us a quick little stir here. We're going to just let that cook down a bit, and then we will add our veg in just a moment. So our onions have softened nicely, and a lot of that liquid that came out of the onions themselves has evaporated. So at this point, I'm actually going to add my first chicken cube. So again, if you've got a carton of chicken broth, just use that instead. This is me just sort of just making up as I go along, using what I've got. That's what I love about cooking, honestly, and soups. So forgiving, so versatile. Okay, so at this point now we're going to add in our grated carrot and zucchini. And this soup comes together in minutes. Everything is pretty small, so it doesn't take too long to cook. By all means, if you wanted a little more of a chunky texture, you could dice the veg instead, and it would just have to cook a little bit longer. Also, you could add in a shredded potato if you wanted to add a little more bulk to it, and then it becomes more of an actual chowder if you've got the potato in there. You know, you can add in, I've added in, I might do it today actually, some nice frozen peaches and cream corn. I might do that towards the end. I mean, you could, you know, grate up some cauliflower, broccoli stems would be nice in there too. Okay, so we're just going to stir that around. Now we had added a little bit of salt earlier, plus the chicken cube, which is going to have salt. So I don't want to touch any, do any salt right now. So this is 3 cups of room temperature water that I'm throwing in. Stir that around. And turn, so my heat's like medium high. The rest of the liquid I'm going to use milk. Okay. So again, I'm going to add a little more pepper. Okay. And I'm going to let this kind of cook down a little bit. such a mess when I grate carrots. Like, carrot bits are everywhere. I don't know. I always make a mess with the grating of carrots. Okay, so I didn't use the entire zucchini yet. I was just kind of eyeballing it. But you know what? I am gonna just use that last little bit. I might as well. So I do feel like I have more carrot than zucchini in there. So this is one, medium-sized zucchini. If you're buying the ones in the store that tend to be smaller, basically I would do a zucchini per carrot maybe. Those were big carrots though, so I'd actually probably do 4 of those small little zucchinis you buy in the store for the 2 large carrots. Excited for this one. I haven't made it in a while. It's different. It's a little unique, but super simple, and it's a good way to use up that zucchini instead of just making chocolate zucchini loaves, which I love, and there's nothing wrong with. I'm sure I will have many more zucchinis coming my way because my sister is it's a little garden, but oh my goodness, is it taking off. Okay, save that nub. Give that to the bunnies outside. Okay, there we are. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so we'll use that whole zucchini after all. And what's nice too, I'm using a chicken cube or chicken broth. Super easily this could become a vegetarian or vegan soup. Use a dairy replacement instead of the actual milk. Use a veggie stock instead of chicken. Again, just play around. This is just sort of the idea, and you make it the way you want to make it. You make it for your tastes. Okay. Again, this isn't going to have to cook down for very long at all because they are grated. But we're going to leave it, honestly, probably like 5 to 7 minutes, and then we will bring it all together. All right, so it's been about 7 minutes, and everything is softened up nicely. In the meantime, I made my quick little cheater roux. So essentially, you want 1 part flour to 2 parts oil. So for this size pot, I'm going to start off with, I did 3 tablespoons of flour. So that's 6 tablespoons of olive oil. And again, you can use whatever oil you prefer. I was raised on olive oil, so it's my go-to. So that's gonna be our thickener. I did a quick little taste, and I am gonna add the other chicken cube in. Okay, good. Grab this guy here. Get them sort of melted in there. It's funny, I actually just had a friend stop by to pick up a cheesecake I had made, and as soon as she walked in, oh my god, it smells so good in here. I'm like, well, it's just a very simple soup. Okay, so I'm going to start, so we did the 3 cups of the water. I'm going to start here with 3 cups of milk. That should be good. So at this point, it's going to have sort of like a milky, brothy look to it. Now, if you don't want to add the flour in, you could technically leave it like this. It's still a lovely soup. I'm actually going to add the rest of the milk in. So just shy of 2 cups. I'm going to bring it right to 2. I'm going to add a little more water. I always like having enough soup to share. So this is what the soup looks like right now. So it's just got the water and the milk and the veg. So like I said, if you don't want to have the flour in there, you could technically leave it like this. But I want to make it a little creamier. So I'm going to have my little quick cheater roux with olive oil and flour. And we're going to pour that in and let it thicken up. And we'll do our last minute seasonings and the soup is basically done. Alright, so let's get that roux in there. This is just a nice, easy, I call it a cheater roux because you don't have to worry about melting the butter, incorporating the flour just so. This makes it super easy, super simple. Okay, so you want to make sure you're stirring it well so it doesn't clump up on you. So at this point I keep stirring, so as it comes up closer to a bubble, it's already starting to thicken a little bit. I can feel it. Again, if you were to put the potato in there, that would also add sort of a natural thickener in there. Okay, I'm just going to keep on stirring, let that thicken. So at this point, you're probably going to be stirring it for about, I don't know, 2-3 minutes, just to make sure. There we go. And we want to allow the flour a little bit of time to cook out, just that way you're not going to get that sort of pasty flour taste in there. And I love that you can see the flecks because we left the skin on the zucchini. I washed it, and you get the green flecks, you have the orange flecks in there. Okay. Oops, moving that off the element. I'm gonna grab a spoon here just to give it a little taste test. Always check your food as you go. Check your seasonings. Super tasty. However, it does need a little more salt and pepper. Because we added all that liquid and the flour in there, you definitely have to taste and adjust your seasonings. One little element I like to finish it off with is, where did I put it? I move things around in my kitchen sometimes. Where is my allspice, white pepper? Okay, I'm just gonna take a little search and find my nutmeg. And that is one of the finishing touches that I really like to add to this soup, is just a little bit of nutmeg. I don't have fresh at the moment, so I'm just going to use the store-bought already ground. Again, you can omit that if you like, but it just adds a nice little flavor in there. And we're just going to let that continue to thicken. All right, and we'll be ready to serve it up. So I'm just going to find my nutmeg, add a little bit in there, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we're all done. Okay, so I ended up adding a little more of my little cheater roux into the soup because it just wasn't thickening quite enough. I'll adjust that in the recipe when I write it out for you guys. So again, recipe is in the comments. And I found nutmeg. So I'm just adding a teeny bit more. So again, you can omit it if you're not a fan of nutmeg. Altogether for this pot of soup, maybe a teaspoon worth I've put in there, if that. I'm gonna say if you're not sure of it, sprinkle a little bit, stir it in, taste it. Do it according to taste for yourself. And again, it'll still be delicious even if you leave it out altogether. Okay. Oops, splashing all over here. So I'm just gonna give it one last taste here. Perfect. Perfect. Quite excited. I haven't had the soup in a while. So I'm just doing it in a little clear bowl just so you can kind of have a better look. I know with the angle that I film in this tiny kitchen, sometimes it's hard to actually see the food as I'm preparing it. So let me put it in this clear bowl for you guys. I'll wipe that up after. But so here is our piping hot creamy carrot and zucchini soup. So what I love too is you get a little bit of everything in every single mouthful. So like I said earlier, you don't have to shred it. You can dice up the veg. You can use cream instead of skim milk. Delicious. So I hope you give it a try. It's something a little different. It's nice and light for summer. Creamy carrot and zucchini soup. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.